as the sun starts peeking its way through the clouds here, we go on to our last race for Micromax. Here is your starting order. From pole position, we'll start the number 12 of Nice Racing's Nicolas Casarino. Maximilian Pilch from C4 Racing in the number 11 will be alongside on the front row. Kenyon Washington in the number 14 will have the number 31 of Noah Janssen alongside. Gabriel Hoffmann and Alexander Klugel in the number 95 and the number 80 will complete row number 3. Matthias Schulte and Maxime Becker in the 50 and the 55 complete the top 4 rows, with Oleg Lan and Christos Malakos in the 18 and the 27 respectively completing the top 10. Leopold Juch and Tom Reja complete the 12-strong grid. So they're currently on their sighting lap to get a measure of the wet weather conditions. Now we go on to the formation lap. 9 minutes plus an additional lap will be set on the timer. And then the red lights will be ignited on the starting gantry. And we have had one driver just have a little bit of an off-track excursion. And that was the number 80 of Alexander Klugel, who will be starting in 6th on the grid. As when they come through the final chicane, it will be down to Nicolas Casarino and Maximilian Pilch to slow the field down and wait for the remainder of them to get into their relevant grid positions. The drivers now come round the final corner. Let's see if their final race gets underway cleanly. Into the tram lines. Red lights are out, we're off and away and racing. As there are 7 of the top... Oh, we've had a bit of a clash there. And that looks like Pilcher's gone around. Looks like maybe Casarino has gone too. And multiple carts had to try and avoid. And the wet weather conditions as the number 50 of Matthias Schulte's rear bumper is actually hanging off on the right-hand side. So that might have been a result of the collision that has just happened. But at the moment, leading the way is Nicolas Casarino. Looks like Oleg Glan has now moved up into 2nd place from 10th at the start. As through into the back part of the circuit for this first time come the Micromax drivers. Nicolas Casarino leads. Oleg Glan in 2nd. Looks like Gabriel Hoffmann and also Alexander Klugel now round out the top 4 positions. Leopold Juch, in the meantime, has got Kenyon Washington going towards the outside, heading into the penultimate corner, and the number 14 from Nice Racing makes the position. As it's nearly getting a bit feisty at the back end of the order, someone's lost out big time. That looks like Christos Malakos in the 27, going very slowly. Mechanical black flag being shown to the number 50 of Matthias Schulte. So the driver will have 3 laps to bring that in. So mechanical black flag shown. And I've got a feeling that whether Christos Malakos, whether the 27 is still driving on the circuit, because the kart looked to be breaking down through the penultimate corner. So running order at the moment, still Nicolas Casarino leading by 1.3 seconds ahead of Oleg Glan. But that is not the case anymore, as Gabriel Hoffmann in the 95 has now got ahead. Fourth place, Alexander Klugel. Fifth place, Kenyon Washington. Then you also got Maxime Becker just behind the number 14 in sixth place. So yellow flags being waved at the penultimate, towards the final corner. No overtaking allowed. And the number 50 of Matthias Schulte now comes into the pits. 6 minutes and 15 seconds, plus an additional lap still to go. Casarino's lead now down to 1.1 seconds, as Hoffmann has just set the fastest lap of the race. A 1 minute 16.221. That time around, Nicolas Casarino, a 1 minute 16.613. Oleglan now having to watch out for Alexander Klugel in the number 80, who is just behind. So the Kachmi.de driver in the number 80, trying to go for third position. A little bit further back, Kenyon Washington is battling away with Maxime Becker and the 88 of Tom Reger. So Christos Malakos has been confirmed, well, will be confirmed very shortly as an official retirement in the race, as the number 50 of Matthias Schulte now comes out of the pits. And we had a 5-second penalty issued to Noah Janssen in the 31. So Casarino crosses the line, leading the way, completing lap. Oh, we've had a moment there. That is the number 95 of Gabriel Hoffmann, who dropped from around about second position. He was actually behind Nicolas Casarino. So had a spin. Caught the tail end of that, to be completely honest with you. So whether the wet weather conditions caught the driver out whilst putting the power down. So the order has now been revised as a result of Gabriel Hoffmann's unfortunate spin, which now means that the number 95 is down in 9th position. So Alexander Klugel in 3rd. Kenyon Washington now in 4th position. And has still got Tom Reger and Maximilian Pilch just behind in the numbers 88 and 11. So the number 50 of Matthias Schulte crosses the line. 3 laps completed for the number 50, even with the pit stop. Nicolas Casarino continues to lead. So 4 laps completed, a 1 minute 16.515 that time around. Oleglan now ahead of Alexander Klugel, who's looking to go towards the inside of the 18. Kenyon Washington having to battle away, as Maximilian Pilch now trying to get up the inside of Gabriel Hoffmann for the position. And that is for 7th place, as the pair side by side, but Hoffmann powers round the outside of the number 11. So just over 3 minutes and 10 seconds still to go. Casarino last time had nearly a 4.5 second advantage, leading the way ahead of Oleglan, Alexander Klugel, Kenyon Washington still there in 4th place in the number 14, with Maxime Becker now ahead of Tom Reger. Gabriel Hoffmann in the 95, trying to move towards those in front, but there is a bit of a distance between 6th and 7th position at the moment. As the number 55 of Maxime Becker trying to go towards the inside through the first main corner on Kenyon Washington. But Washington manages to get through the corner first. But then a really good run from the 55, trying to go towards the inside of the number 14 into the very next corner. Washington still able to defend ahead of Maxime Becker. And just behind them, Tom Reger in the number 88, still keeping in touch. So Casarino will try and extend that lead, probably north of 5 seconds, as it was 4.8 when they completed lap number 5. Through the final corner comes the leader to complete another lap. And now the gap is 5.296 seconds between Nicolas Casarino and Ole Glan. Alexander Klugel in third place. Kenyon Washington still holding on and has just over a minute plus an additional lap to try and keep fourth place ahead of Maxime Becker. With Tom Hedger in the number 88 just behind. Maximilian Pilch, in the meantime, is trying to hold on to 7th place. Ahead of the number 31 of Noah Janssen. So we have just under 30 seconds, well, 21 seconds on the clock remaining, as Casarino now heads to the final corner. As the number 50 of Matthias Schulte pointing to the right-hand side just to allow Nicolas Casarino it's safe to pass. Ole Glan nearly 6 seconds adrift in second position. And has got Alexander Klugel not that far behind. And there is Kenyon Washington, I think, in the number 14. So the timer has expired. Next time around, we'll get the final lap board. So the 5 drivers that are battling effectively what could be second position is being led by Ole Glan. Alexander Klugel in third. Kenyon Washington in 4th place, who fends off the advances of Maxime Becker going into the penultimate corner. So Casarino takes the final lap board. Schulte now crosses the line a bit further down the order. As now the number 55 of Maxime Becker closing again on Kenyon Washington. As a little bit further behind, Noah Janssen and Maximilian Pilch are still battling for what is 7th on the road. But Janssen has got a 5-second penalty post-race for pushing. As there's been a tangle, and that involves Tom Hedger and Maxime Becker on the final lap of the race. And they were battling over 5th position in the final lap. So unfortunately, drama for the number 55. So Nicolas Casarino takes the final race victory in Micromax. 2 hands waving aloft in the air. Second goes to Ole Glan in the 18. Third place, and rounding out a very, very difficult start to the weekend initially, Kenyon Washington in the 14 takes 3rd place. Alexander Klugel in 4th. Tom Hedger will finish in 5th. Maximilian Pilch in 6th position ahead of Noah Janssen in the 31. Gabriel Hoffmann will take 8th place. Leopold Jouch in 9th. We did have a retirement from Christos Malakos, but Matthias Schulte will be classified behind Maxime Becker, who now crosses the line. and rounds out the top 10. But Niklas Casarino from Nice Racing in the number 12 rounds out the weekend with a victory.